Everybody is ready. We shall begin. Good morning to everybody. Today is Monday, December the 8th, 2025. 9 o'clock a.m. Gonzales County Commissioners Court will now be in session. Just to make note, we had the Winterfest parade and everything this weekend on the square. And I don't know if anybody was there, but they had a drone show, and it was simply unbelievable. I think there was like 220 drones that was in it. I was definitely impressed, so kudos to whoever put that on. And I thought that was pretty neat for Gonzales, and if you didn't see it, you missed a good show. All right, we'll move to public comment, and I do not believe that anybody wants to talk to us this morning, so there's nobody on public comment. We'll move into the consent agenda. The following may be acted upon in one motion. Commissioner, county judge, or a citizen may request an item to be pulled for separate discussion and or action. Gentlemen, have y'all had the opportunity to look over the consent agenda? Yes, sir.
I move we approve the consent agenda as listed.
Second. Had a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as listed. Any further discussion? No further discussion, and all in favor? All opposed? All right, consent agenda is passed. Pass that on to you. All right. All right, we'll move into number 9. This will be a presentation regarding vested networks. Good morning.
Good morning. First of all, thank you very much for letting us come and speak with you. Here's some little bit of information about Vested Networks. We are a phone solution company. We serve 30 counties in the state of Texas, and if you look, there's a little map in here that has stars on it, and there is no star on Gonzales County yet, because these are the counties that we do serve. As you look on there, you can see that we serve a lot of your neighbors, a lot of your neighboring counties. We began in 2016. The owner of our company, which is Evan Huff, he used to work for a different phone provider, and he became very disappointed in their lack of customer service. So he went home and told his wife, hey, I think we can do better. So they began Vested Networks. And one thing about Evan, I'll tell you this, he is OCD about things running right. He doesn't like any downs. He doesn't like things to go bad. He doesn't like customer service not being withheld. So he has set Vested Networks along those lines from the very beginning. If you chose Vested Networks as your phone provider, what we do is we come in and we put all brand new phones all over your county or whichever parts of the county you want them. We install them with professional installers. We set them up the way you want, and then we have the service with all of our features that are, we don't nickel and dime for the features. They're all included, whether you use them or not. And some of those features that that counties really like is the Sheriff's Department loves that we have call recording. All the calls can be recorded or not, and that's just a feature at no extra cost. You may be paying for call recording at your sheriff's office now through some other, I don't know, it just depends. We've seen people pay a lot of money for that call recording. With us, it's just included. Another feature that counties like, or our customers like, is that we have an app that you can download on your cell phone, and you can take and make and transfer calls just like you're sitting at your desk. So that's kind of cool. It keeps you, if you can't work that day but you're not sick, you can still work like from home or wherever. You can work from Bahamas if you want to, or while you're skiing. He does, that's for sure, just like he's sitting at his desk. So we also, after we get all the installation finished and everything's set up just like you want, if things need to be tweaked or it's not exactly what you thought it would be, all you have to do, anybody in the county can call from our phones, HELP, help, It goes directly to our tech line. There's, our guys are sitting there answering the calls when y'all call in, and they can fix whatever you need right then. Customer service, that's our number one thing, is customer service. We have a great product, but we also have great customer service. I don't even,
15-second hold times.
yes, and when you call in, it's like 15 seconds to pick it up. And I know I can tell you everything awesome about us, and that's kind of cool. But if you want to really find out what our customers say, you have a list of them. You can call our customers and ask them, county customers anyway. We have all kinds of customers that are not counties too. But you can call and see what their experience with Vested Networks has been. I know I've met some of you guys at the conferences, you know, and I've stopped by here a few times. So it's not like y'all have never heard of us before, but I did love this opportunity to come and talk to you all at the same time. And Evan's going to take over, but before that, I want to give each of you, the one thing that makes us different is we have down-home customer service. So you don't forget it, here is some down-home homemade bread. Made down home at my house, okay? So I want you to enjoy that. It's cranberry bread, Christmas time. And now Evan, the owner of our company, will take over.
Awesome. Okay, absolutely. And by the way, too, if you have any questions, you know, any kind of curiosities, whatever it is you have in the meantime, please interrupt. Like, this is, I'm here for you guys. I say this same stuff all the time. But no, this is like what she's talking about is like truly that's what we do. We come in, we make sure that everything is running smoothly. I don't like issues. I don't like excuses. I don't like, oh hey, it's somebody else's problem. No, we're gonna get on the phone. We're gonna make sure, like, we're gonna truck roll down here. We're gonna make sure things are working like they need to. What's really nice too is that all of our systems are redundant. And they're not just redundant, they're geo-redundant, which means we have multiple server facilities around the U.S. to make sure that regardless of what's going on, like electrical outages, you know, if we have, big hurricane storms, all that kind of stuff going on, like during the ice storm that came through, we were still up. We never had an issue. All of our customers, you know, power went out, all that kind of stuff. As long as you had some kind of internet connection of some kind, like, and that could be Starlink. Right, I mean, it's really, really neat to be able to see like where technology's going. You're up and running. I mean, calls are still coming in, and even in the event that say everything's out, our system is still taking calls. Like you can still send the calls to voicemail. They'll get, you know, put up a message, let us know, hey, send us an email, hey, can you change the greetings, stuff like that. Our system stays up and running regardless of what's going on. So that way the county still gets alerted to what's going on, and you don't have to kind of worry about what's happening around you. So that's a huge thing, and we just include everything as part of our solution. So all the kind of the premium business features, all that kind of stuff is just part of it. Like, we're not trying to nickel and dime the service. We feel like if we treat you right, you'll treat us right. So it's a good circle. But yeah, that's really it. I mean, we just need to know how many how many total phones you guys have and what other lines you need, and we'll take care of it from there.
Does that work with any phone provider?
So we are the phone provider.
You are the phone provider.
Right. So we just need to active internet connection from y'all's side. We are the one-stop shop when it comes to phone service, phone system, solution, all of it. So that way there's no, well, we're providing the system, but they're providing the numbers, but they're providing the minutes, but it's all one solution with us.
So landline or cellular?
All of it. So on the cellular side, we can facilitate that, but that's generally through the big cell providers that do that. So like your cell phones, stuff like that, we kind of recruit from that one. But that's one thing she was talking about, the app. So I only have one cell phone. So I don't have to have two, I don't carry around two cell phones, one for work, one for personal. And a lot of our counties have actually really enjoyed that functionality, or actually a lot of our customers have, because there's multiple of our companies and counties, CAD, cities, whatever, that have actually moved away from having two cell phones, and they just give a stipend to their employees to have it on their, just have it down. And for one, it reduces costs dramatically, But for another, you don't have to have that extra cell phone. And all of the system calls and everything like that are recorded. They're recorded, they're logged, you don't have to subpoena the other phone or any of that kind of stuff. It's all on the system. So as soon as you have to turn somebody off, you just reset the password, it disconnects them from the system, and you still have all their information, you still have all the calls, all the texts, all this stuff. So it makes it really nice, and you can separate business from personal.
Yeah. It's good to have one phone, but it's also bad to have one phone because public information requests are in, and if they ask it, then you have all your personal information on there too.
No, so that's the thing about so we've run into this several times where the actual app itself is just an app. So there's nothing in that app that actually sits on your phone. It's completely on
Would that work?
on our system.
Would that work if it's one device and just to go to an app, or would you still have access to the entire phone? I was asking legal.
It would depend on the information that is being sought.
Right.
It's possible that it could be enough protection where you can only get access to the app, but it really just depends what information is being asked of.
Yeah, just curious.
Yeah, and this is something that we built specifically for this reason, right? We know that, like, obviously we serve 30 counties, just about close to 100 CADs now, 20, 30 cities. Like, this isn't our first rodeo, right? So this is, we've been asked this question multiple times, and this is why we continue to push this out in the way that we do, because we know it works, and it keeps things separate, and it works really, really well. So, yeah, being able to enable texting on like your business like direct line, like I don't have to text from my cell phone or another cell phone, and then that information then stays on that one little phone, and it never actually gets on the system. It's all through one app, takes care of everything. I don't have to think about where the information is because I send a text from my business line, which is connected to the app on the system. So it makes it really, really nice, and it's just takes the mental energy out of trying to figure out where do I send this from, and so it makes it nice.
Could we do that, like if we had to cancel a jury trial or something like that, like a message, you could do that on the app also?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, again, I like technology, and I'm kind of a giddy thing when it comes to stuff like this because it makes things so much easier. I don't have to try to go, where do I do this? No, I just log in the website because I just go right in. Go to that user, that's for the one for the jury trial line, and set the greeting, and oh wait, I can set multiple different greetings on the line, and I just, instead of having to re-record all the time,
Right.
just change the greeting, hit save, it's done. And you could do that from the app, from online to the portal, or say you can't even get to that, whatever it is, wherever you are, just send an email to our helpline, and we'll do it for you. So, yeah, we try to make support and like system functions really, really simple, and that's why we have 5 stars across the board. So again, it's all about taking care of the customer and making things as easy as possible for you guys. We're here to support y'all, be an advocate for y'all. So that's it. We're asking for just give us a shot, even if it's just one of y'all's county offices to show you kind of what we can do. A lot of our counties have actually done that. They've just been like, here, let's just give you one of our, little annex offices or the precinct office or whatever it is, and then we go from there, and then go start doing more of that. So, yeah, generally it's like a month. They're like, oh no, we're ready to go. Let's offload all of them. So, okay, let's do it.
Is your billing based upon number of phones or?
It's number of user seats with devices. So, and that's what kind of an interesting change in thinking, right? So traditional phone systems are like based on the number of lines that are coming in, right? So, this phone number and this phone number, each one of those phone numbers are charged. The way that we do it is based on the user seats. So, like your user, you could have the app, your desk phone, and then you can even have another, say if you have a secondary office, another precinct or something, you have another, phone or something over there. You can link all those together, and that's one user. So that's only one charge, right?
Even though it's multiple numbers?
Correct. So phone numbers for us aren't charged. right? You can have 1,000 numbers and we're just like, okay, that's fine, but all these numbers, because generally if you have 1,000 numbers, you've got a couple hundred users, right? So the thing on that is you can have all the devices connect to this one user, and that's just one extension. And then for the judge, he's got his extension. That would be another charge because he's got, phones that you connect to him. So every single one that's got an actual phone with an extension that's unique, that's a charge. And then we take care of the fax lines, we take care of the emergency lines like your fire, burglar, elevator, blue light, kind of those push button call emergency lines. We'll take care of all that stuff for you as well.
Would you be able to continue to use the same number that you have?
Yep. Yeah, we'll be able to port all those numbers over. So that's actually an interesting one too, because there's a lot of places that you would think like it's 2025, almost 26, right? We've got technology and everything that has advanced as far as it has, but there's still little pockets in multiple pockets in Texas alone where you cannot port numbers away from these providers. And so over the last 3 years, it's actually been one of my missions to change that. We actually had an issue with one of our carriers where that actually became an issue and they had gone down and it affected several of our customers. It wasn't our systems that went down, but it was somebody that we were connected to. Through that journey, we now have portability, like the ability to port all these numbers directly to vested networks. We don't have to worry about what all the other carriers have agreements with or any of that kind of stuff. We can actually do that now ourselves. So we just did that with Leon County. We took over all of their stuff. They were stuck in this weird area with Windstream. Windstream is a huge company, but this one little area where Leon County is, they could not port to anybody else. Ring Central couldn't do it, Vonage couldn't do it, Nextiva, no one else could do it. And we came in and were able to port all those numbers. So now because they were on an old system, it was like, I can't remember what the name of the system is now. But they were like, they couldn't get any of the voicemails, they couldn't do any of this stuff, their system was constantly down. And so they were in this limbo thing with Ring Central and Windstream, and we pulled everything over. And now they're like, this is great. So thank you so much for being able to do this. So, but again, I don't like excuses and I don't like issues. So that's what we're here to do, is take care of that stuff. So, yeah, just asking you guys to trust us, and as soon as we get the numbers for however many user seats and kind of phones that you guys need, that's what we'll give you guys a quote for, and that'll be it. The other thing on that is when you get to the end, once we propose and y'all sign the proposal, that doesn't actually start the final agreement. So traditionally, when you sign the actual contract, right, nothing's actually been done yet. You just signed the contract. Everything starts at that point, and then hopefully the actual installation goes smoothly, hopefully the onboarding goes smoothly, and transitions and all that kind of stuff. We flip that over. So our process starts when you sign the proposal. We then start the installation, we start the onboarding, because a lot of times things can change, right? So in the month or so that it takes us to go from signed proposal to install completed, yes, it's only a month. We go all the way through, and then once we get done with the install, turn up, we've trained you guys, everyone's using the system, then we come back and actually finalize, okay, how many phones did we install, who actually got installed, what all lines of service are active now. And then we bring that final proposal and then the final agreement, and then sign it, and that's when it gets started. So it's on us to make sure that we do a great job, not the other way around, right? Okay, now it's cool, we've got the signed proposal, now they're locked in, okay, hopefully we'll put our low-end guys on it. No, we're putting our best guys on every single job that we do, because we want to make sure that things are taken care of. Take care of the customer, they'll take care of us. So it's a great ethical cycle that we commit ourselves to. So this is where we are. Any other questions, you guys? Awesome. Absolutely. Thank you guys, and enjoy the bread. And hopefully we'll get some more questions for you all later. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 10, update from Jimmy Harness regarding the drought conditions and burn ban status.
We were able to check on the number this morning, it was 619, and it's expected to be sunny and dry for the next few days.
I know we've had a huge number of people burning stuff.
I've talked to some of the fire chiefs and things, they've had inquiries, we've had some damp and wet weather and whatnot. And I know we talked about maybe if we could lift it for a week and see how things go, let some people burn some stuff.
Make a motion, lift it.
Motion second to lift the burn ban. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right. People will be able to burn now for a little bit. We may have to put it back in, but
Right.
at least they can get some of their stuff done. Number 11, discuss with action Constable Precinct 4 applying for TxDOT STEP grant. The county will be responsible for the matching funds of up to 20%.
We don't know anything about it, so I don't think he wanted to be here, but I guess he's busy, probably makes sense.
Table it till next time. Have a-
Yeah.
Second. Motion and a second to table, to next time. I know they got some stuff going on over there. Number 12, request to change the name of, Binky Lake to, K. Parker Lake. Representative here for this one.
They sent an email asking us to put this on the agenda for y'all's, somebody requested it. So I stuck it on the agenda. I know last time we had one, I think y'all just passed on it, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, well, that one was the Capava Lake. I think we ended up with saying, y'all do whatever you want, but I think what happened is when they went through the state or whoever that is to do it, it didn't happen.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
this was,
think they were wanting y'all's approval if they were gonna move forward with it. I didn't really look into it too much because of it's y'all's
And
decision.
I always thought Parker's on that forever. And what it is big old tank is what I think it is, but, that one to the right going in at first turn off. But Binky might have owned that at one time, but I don't know.
I know, reading through some of the letters and emails, it states that, Binky was always the neighbor.
Right,
And that was not the gentleman who built it himself, correct?
right. But if you change that, wouldn't you have to go through the state of Texas?
yeah, it's just something, National Geographic Board or some stuff like that. Now, there is a deal on here, what I have in front of me, I'll pass it around to y'all. It says that, we can, whatever it says recommended U.S. Board Geographic names, please check one. It says, approve the proposed name, reject the proposed name, no opinion, no objection, or other. As far as I'm concerned, mine would be no objection. I mean, it's up to y'all.
That's what I think, when we say no objection, then let them handle it however they want to.
I know they seem like they've done a lot of work already.
Yeah.
Around with getting that
Yeah.
initial information from things, so.
I wish we would have had a representative here to kind of elaborate on it a little bit, may have been helpful.
Well, I make a motion that we, no objection.
Second.
All right. A motion and a second for, no objection on the changing of the, lake name. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? All right. So, no objection. What do we put on this first one? I'll figure this out in a minute. We'll move on. All right, move to 13, to consider, discuss, and take any necessary action on the subdivision applications. Take note of known exceptions, consider any request for variance. If y'all guys notice, I hadn't had a chance to tell y'all, but administrative, on our side, we just listed them all in one, A, B, C, D, and E. I think some other counties have been doing that. I really haven't had the chance to ask the county attorney and them anything on it, but I believe that it's a legit deal if they're doing it. Just puts them all under one action item for the same thing, just different actions, so.
We can act independently on each item.
Each item we need to.
I think that second one on Heller was a couple of things that we needed to do, so we were like, how do we word it? And so I asked other counties, and this is what they're doing. It kind of covers, it's like a blanket.
I don't see there's an issue with
So you start on A and go through D.
So we're gonna start on A, exception request, for Fox's Rocking F Cattle LLC, County Road 232 and Precinct 3.
What it is the Fox's Running F Cattle LLC owns 34 acres, and they want to sell 5 acres to one of the owners, Corey Fox. Already a house, it looks like, on the 5 acres with an existing driveway. So it would have plenty of road frontage. No real issues for us, but it's precinct 3. So.
Right. I've looked it all over. It looks straight up and down.
Yeah, what was it like Corey, I mean, that's his
Yeah.
family homestead, and he just, I think he can separate that house out.
Right. I'm gonna make a motion, we'll go ahead and set that.
Second that.
Motion is second to accept the request for the Fox Rocking F Cattle Company LLC on County Road 232, Precinct 3. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. B, exception request is Mary Heller, County Road 482 in Precinct 1.
Mrs. Heller approached Commissioner Matias. He asked to help her figure it all out. She's got approximately 6.2 acres altogether. I say approximate because I don't think the original paperwork was not real clear. The survey, again, she won't have an exact number, but she wants to split out 1.3 acres to have her neighbor's Mr. Yamas. She wants to have that absorbed into his property. And then of the remaining acreage, she would like to split out 3.9 acres to be sold and keep 1 acre for herself at the house. I believe her husband had passed away several years ago, and she's hoping to be able to pay off the house by selling this property that she can't really use anyway at this point. It would have, of course, Mr. Yamas's would be absorbed into his property, so frontage isn't really an issue. The 3.9 acres that she'd like to sell would have over 100 foot of frontage, so that's not an issue. And her remaining acreage should have over 100 foot of frontage. We don't know exactly how the 1 acre will be shaped until they can get out there and survey it, make sure a septic system stays on the property with the house. It is 1 acre, which is less than what we normally would accept, but the state does allow 1 acre properties with a septic, and there are other 1 acre properties right there across the street from her, and it's not unusual in that neighborhood, so.
Is that's water? I'm sorry, what's the water situation out there?
It's fine, it's Kelly Loop.
County water?
Yes. Yeah, there are a lot of houses out there already.
I think that's the only question I had on that, like the one we just approved was the textbook family member cutting out, going from a bigger acreage to a small acreage, but keeping it within the family. Here you're subdividing, basically, you're taking a tract, you're selling the section to one neighbor, you're keeping some, and then you're selling some, to whomever. And does that go above and beyond our exception, kind of the intent of it, or is that, that's what I was trying to figure out in my head. I talked to Commissioner Matias the other day, we were kicking it back and forth,
The acreage going to Yamas is definitely covered under the exceptions. The rest of it, the 3.9 acres, I don't know if there's a specific anything specific listed, but that's up to you guys. It's been explained to me, it's y'all's rules, so.
But it's kind of wide open and not that wide open. You know, when you, then, again, the intent was to, when you're selling to a neighbor, not really creating or a family member, but then when you're doing a little bit of both, this kind of has everything in it.
It is.
Does this property front the Kelly Loop Road?
Yes, sir. It's Sonny Townsend's old property.
This would be her acre roughly. This would be the 3.9 acres. Both of these would have over 100 foot of frontage. And then this is the 1.3 that would be going into Mr. Yamas's property. Originally, the reason it was such an odd number as far as trying to figure out exactly what she has is it was sold to her, and didn't have a real specific number then, but subtracting out the Tucker properties, and so she won't know to the 1/10 of an acre exactly how much she has until it's.
So were these part of that at one time?
I think it was at one time when she bought it.
And who
It just,
sold those?
the same Townsends, I believe, but it was just, in her deed, it was listed as this is your property, but subtract out these. You know, it was not a very well done document, I believe, at the first time.
Kind of policy on something like that?
I don't know. This
Yeah,
was way back.
Tucker's been there for a fairly good while. On that side.
The only thing, that thing's kind of cut up, little old frontage houses, it's already kind of like a, you know,
Yes, sir.
already been done that way for years and years.
All the way down to,
Well, like I say, the state does allow 1 acre with a septic system, so.
It'll be your call, tell me whatever you want to do as far as I'm concerned.
It's all, like you're saying, it's already kind of
Yeah, you go
subdivided.
down and it's houses all the way down.
right, yes, it's,
And I mean, it's kind of like
Both ways.
waterfront, yeah.
yes, sir. And to my understanding, you know, she's, you know, lost her husband and he had a business and she's trying to get out of debt and pay for the house by selling the land and then still remaining in the home that they purchased together, so. I'm good with her understanding, as long
I'll
as y'all are
second
good.
that.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Gonzalez.
All right, had a motion and a second on the exception request, from Mary Heller, County Road, 482 Precinct 1. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. C, Highway 90, Community 9-unit rental community in Precinct 3.
Well, this is Mr. Padilla's property. He recently acquired from Richard Green through, I forget the name of the exact, I forgot that, when you spoke of the exact company that he acquired it from. The problem is that initially he put 5 mobile homes on the property for his employees. He did go through the process of getting a proper septic system put on it after much prodding by Jimmy. Since then, he has had a building that's been split into 4 apartments. At this point, we've told him he needs to get a development permit. It was asked about the water meters. We do have 3 active meters on the property. When I asked the water company about it, they would want him to have a meter for each house or a master meter like you would see in an apartment or an RV park.
That would be according to our subdivision rules, correct?
I don't believe it's noted that way in the subdivision rules. They do require a development permit, and that's where we involve the water company.
So do we have all these prior permits, septic permits and all that, or is that stuff that's been gotten after the fact?
Well, after the fact, when he was caught putting the mobile homes on the property,
So that was a question I have. In our subdivision regulation rules, what do we have, what can we do when someone does not follow the permit? What repercussion or what can we do as the county?
I'd have to look to see if anything was written in, but typically you can write in things, as some sort of, you know,
Well, it
consequence.
sounds like he's been trying to skate around y'all.
he does.
He only
Yes, sir.
takes action when y'all catch
He
him.
catches. He has been written a ticket. I don't know if he could, I would assume, and I'm not a lawyer, but Jimmy could write them a ticket every day until they're in compliance, I suppose, but I am not, it's not.
You know,
And that's the whole reason we had the subdivision rules and regulations, was something that they could follow, not follow after the fact.
And I don't see him here today in order to,
And I did walk the property out, the water meters, he's got 3 to the east from that location, and there's only 1 meter, and that 3/4 feed that whole, whatever, on that
so there's
side.
only one meter, I thought there was three.
Three meters.
There's 3 meter boxes, but the meters
That
are,
are active, that's what the water.
No, the meters are.
they might be active up there at those other houses, but the closest one to that residence,
He
there was
says-
2 meters, and the other one had a meter, so.
He does say he wants to drill a well, which is a possibility, but it hadn't been drilled yet,
This guy's been doing this for probably, what, 10 months, maybe a year?
at least a year, yes, sir.
And been getting away with it and that. And it's kind of like a burn ban. If somebody's out there burning brush, and you know that you're supposed to have a permit or not do it, and go ahead and do it, and then
If you
run
get
the
caught.
system like that, and that just, it's not right for him to do that, and the rest of us have to do it, you know?
I agree.
I'd write tickets to all the blue.
Folks are living in houses already, right?
I don't think we need to do anything until he gets the right water meters and it's up to date. And I think the people aren't even be living there if you ain't got a permit, you know?
I don't see
It's
how
not right.
you can have people living in dwellings that are not up to code, that are
Right.
not safe possibly, we don't know. And
If that's all the water going to those 5 houses right now, they ain't got enough water to flush the commode and have water at the next house, you know? Just, it's not done right, you know?
They need to do it right.
And I mean, it's septic, and then I mean, that water runs from there down Sandy's Creek to other people's properties and ponds.
How many
and
septics are there?
Tanks and.
There's at least the one for the mobile homes is already in compliance with those mobile homes. Now,
It's
if he
big enough,
starts adding
it's
stuff-
big enough to handle all 3 mobile homes?
It was designed by Jay Colby, and he's licensed by the state to do that. It was built to those designs. Unless they start adding stuff and we don't catch it, you know? That
That's
would be the
what's
issue.
gonna happen.
So the additional units don't have septic.
Not at this point that we have any record of.
So if we let him slide on this, and he's probably gonna continue to do that, and why should we let him slide on it, we're not letting anybody else slide on it?
It's not fair to everybody else.
No, it's not fair, it's not, you know, it's not in compliance.
Now, he could get in compliance as far as the septic goes for the apartments, but we won't give him a permit until the development agreement passes, so.
But if he's
Enough water.
compliant with water and sewer, then we'll consider the agreement, but we're not gonna approve it so he can keep, or I'll just speak for myself, I wouldn't approve it.
What do you wanna do, Mr. Baker?
I don't think we need to give him, I don't even wanna table it right now. It just makes me mad for somebody to do that. And I've been watching this and hearing this, and Jimmy, you know, he comes to me, and this guy talked pretty rough to him. And now he's wanting all this. I don't think it's right.
He needs to be in compliance, otherwise he's
Right,
not
if I'm
compliant.
up there,
then-
I need a license, you don't,
So at this point, you want to get in compliance with the water
Right, right.
before we consider the.
And I think-
Water and if there's anything further on the septic, he needs to be in compliance with both.
I don't think there ought to be anybody living in those houses.
I think
Until
you'll
he gets right.
I think you'll be in compliance to our subdivision rules. That way we cover it all instead of just water and septic.
Well, that's what he would need to do, is get the water before he could get in compliance with it, as far as the development with the subdivisions. The rental community is what it's covered under the subdivision rule book. So,
I mean, I see it all the time driving, they'll move in one old trailer and then there'll be another one, or they'll build a barn and next time you come by there'll be windows in it, and they're skating around the system, and I think it's not right to the people that are trying to do the system right. So what's your motion?
I think I'll make a motion, we put it to a halt until he gets all compliance with everything par in the subdivision rules.
I'll second it.
All right, motion and a second, on the Highway 90, Community 9 unit rental community in precinct 3, that the person needs to get in total compliance with our subdivision rules, both on the septic and water. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed, motion carries.
I got one question to ask you, if you don't mind,
Sure.
before we continue. Is there any way that we can regulate how many trailers put on the area, spot? Because some of these, they put so close together, if one caught on fire, they're just gonna burn like a bunch of sticks right next to one another. Is there anything in our subdivision rules that, hey, you can only have so many dwellings on this size piece of property?
No, sir, other than the septic, that's our hammer to be able to do that. Now, as far as the fire goes, that's a good question, and I'm not a fire marshal, I couldn't answer that. It'd be Jimmy or possibly Michael Burkhart, who's just recently gotten some of the tests done for that. But the main hammer we have to try to get this stuff into shape is the septic.
Could you put that on your list, and next time we have a meeting that, you know, you can kind of tell us what we can do or can't do on that issue, please, sir?
Well, that was, because I know we've had several discussions, and I've been with Lana also, you know, about the tracts of land that are less than 10 acres getting cut out
Yeah.
and sold. We ran into several of those to where they were cut out and sold by out-of-county surveyors that don't know or don't adhere to our rules and regulations, and we don't find out about it until after the fact. There was a trailer house there, Smiley, who bought the land 2 years ago, we're just now moving in on it, and it was not correctly, didn't have the right for exception or whatever. And again, there's nothing we can do, it's done deeded, recorded, they done bought and paid for it. The only thing we could have done was not give them a septic permit. Again, it's after the fact, so that's where I want to work with the attorney's office and the subdivision rules, so we have some sort of.
Well, maybe we need to have some type of a penalty or something in there if that is done, undercutting Commissioners Court. The other thing is some of us have discussed this too, that if Lana would be so kind that when somebody comes in that is under a 10-acre tract where they file, just to let the commissioner know that this happened, and then let Jimmy's office know that this happened, so then at that time, the commissioner can take a look at the property. They have the opportunity to take a look at the property, and before anything starts getting moved in or anything on it, then we would know if it was starting to happen, then we could address it.
We do send all recordings to Jimmy's office as well. We get weekly.
We do get a list.
But could you flag it if it's under 10 acres? Just like,
We send it.
That's-
call the commissioner, call Jimmy and say, look, this one here is 7.5 acres. Just let y'all have heads up that it's in this area. That way, the commissioners or Jimmy's office can get on that way before anything starts happening.
Yes, sir.
And that would be a great help if you would do that. We would greatly appreciate. I'm sure the commissioners would greatly appreciate that. But we do need to look at maybe changing the subdivision rules and the fact that if somebody does this, that there is a penalty for doing that without coming through Commissioners Court. Maybe you can help us with that.
Yes.
Is something to say?
Good deal. Good deal.
Thank you.
And thank you, Ronnie.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll move to D. Approval of the final plat for the BB Green Acres subdivision, County Road 105 in Precinct 3.
Mr. O'Connell is here, representing the developer of the 7070 Properties LLC. It is a 33-acre piece of property, I believe, that's being split up into 6 lots. The smallest is 5.1 acre. Y'all have plenty of frontage. Mr. O'Connell's company is going to be providing a driveway and a water well for each property. We do have a letter from the underground, from the water company, Water Conservation District, that states that they are in compliance with their rules, because it's under 10 lots. There is a flush valve across the street from this property. I forget what we call it, but flush valve is what the water company calls it. It's where the fire department can use that water if need be.
Why didn't they go on city water that's that close to Gonzales County water that's right there?
I think it was a small line.
A small line, too small to take care of.
Right.
I believe the cost would have been prohibitive to upgrade that line for the 6 acre or 6 lot property, and owning the water company, it's, the books work a lot better for the company to drill their own wells.
Just curious.
Yes, sir.
We're looking at you more.
I know it. I went out there and looked at everything. It looks, I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion and approve the BB Green Acres subdivision.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the BB Green Acres subdivision, County Road 105. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Appreciate you showing up. At least one out of all the exceptions, we did have one person come here that if we needed to pick on you, we could have picked on you.
That's exactly why. Stay around, we'll abuse you probably. You just slip through this.
Yeah, all
I
right.
wanted to remind y'all, we need to sign off on it before y'all leave.
Gotcha. Number 14, update the serial number on new Caterpillar, 2025 Caterpillar 140 motor grader. It is in Nora 9400943, previously approved 11/24/25 to serial number 0 in Nora 9400951 for precinct 2.
They brought the wrong maintainer, so they had to swap them out, so we came back to get this approved in court, so it would be on record for our insurance and for the county auditor. I make a motion that we approve item 14.
I'll second.
All right, had a motion and a second to approve item 14. Now we'll have to read those numbers again.
I think you're all right.
Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Number 15, reappoint Emergency Service Fire District Number 2 Commissioners for a 2-year term beginning January 1st, 2026 through December the 31st, 2027.
I move we reappoint Jason Torres and John Lambert for
Junior?
Junior ESD number 2 commissioners for a 2-year term, beginning January 26th to December 27th.
All right, had a motion and a second by Commissioner Staton to reappoint Emergency Service District Fire Commissioners Number 2 for a 2-year term beginning January 1st, 2026 through December the 31st, 2027. Those individuals are a Jason Torres and a John W. Lambert Jr. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner Staton?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? All right, don't forget we got to sign for Greg.
Sure, thank you very much, we appreciate it, thank you.
Just need to say-